here is the hacking thing is definitely getting bad. I read last night that Google last night had a severe attack last month where your Google search at the peak of the attack was doing 400 million requests per second. Per second. That's insane in the membrane. So you have to be proactive and not reactive when it comes to your technology. And I'd rather sit there and give you tough love and Jewish guilt because it's the new year and I got to start hitting my quota than to sit there and have you a problem and then you end up getting compromised because you didn't know any better. And that's just how technology works. So in terms of quickly things, unless you've been living under a rock, Apple released the new iPhone 15. I have one. Like the Clash, do you stay or do you go? Same thing for their watches, their phones. And also new software updates for all different Apple products. On the Android side, for all of you in the Android world, Google released their new Pixel 8 Pro phone with Android 14. I know I'm running it. So do you stay and go on that? New Pixel Watch as well, and new Pixel Buds. Microsoft and all their glorious BS. Windows 12 is coming out next year. And guess what? AI is going to be the forefront. So, get ready for the old 80s song from Roxwell where you feel like somebody's always watching you. So with that being said, let me give you some Matt jokes of the week here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. Matt also likes to do the joke of the week. Sorry, just a warning. And he specializes in puns and dad humor. I love it. Go, Matt.
Yes.
Go.
Well, Jewish comedian, which is redundant. So anyway, so yesterday I accidentally swallowed some food coloring. The doctor says I'm okay, but I feel like I've died a little inside.
Well done. Bravo.
Thank you guys for letting me speak. My information's in the chat. If you want me to help you get your technology from a turtle stuck on the highway in the HOV lane, during rush hour over to a jackrabbit with 5-hour energy and Mountain Dew, let me know. Thank you guys for letting me speak. Take care.
And Matt has done that for my Mac, and I just wanted to let you know that's why we have Matt, because he not only brings the levity, but he also brings the security for us so that we can do what we need to do. So for those of you who are popping on a little bit late, welcome to the Open Friday Coffee. We do record this so that you can watch it later on YouTube. We have a channel that we post this on for you, mainly because we cover a lot of content in a short period of time. For those of you who are wondering, when do I get a chance to speak? Don't worry, everybody will have a chance to speak on this. This is not necessarily a networking event. This is how many people want to have one-to-ones with Janine. I'm not able to be that for everybody, so we do this here, and then we determine how we can work in the future together. So next is our readers. I have a lot of readers, and so if you are a reader that read Ditch Your Debt While Banking Bucks, and you have a question, if you're one of those readers, raise your hand. And you can also raise your hand using the feature down below. So Ditch Your Debt While Banking Bucks. Anybody have a question about that? Also in the chat, Sean, my wonderful assistant with the same headphones, guess what? He's my son. Thank you for helping me with the chat. Discord man. We have financial first response. If you could put that back up there, Sean, I'd appreciate it. That the financial first response start now. If you don't have an issue with debt, you're not worried about cash flow or whatever, if you could pass that on to people, it's free. It doesn't go into a funnel. I don't hammer them with emails. They get an email from me once a quarter saying Open Friday Coffee. That's the only sort of follow-up I do. I just want to get people out of debt. Okay, next readers are the solopreneurs, my Build Your Business Bootcamp people. Anybody that have a question about this book or the Build Your Business Bootcamp or the Thriving Solopreneur cash flow process? No? Also in the chat is, if you want to have that book, that is where we specialize on my 4-hour-a-week system, what you need to do in 4 hours a week so that you keep your cash flow going and your client pipeline happening. Because I get a lot of people who say, I haven't had a client in months. I'm like, are you doing your 4 hours a week? And they go, what are you talking about? So I'm like, here's my book, let's talk. Okay. 99 Authors Project, Author Podcasting, and Authorpreneurs HQ. Anybody have a question regarding your media kit or how you get on your speaking tour with podcasters? And my podcasters, hang loose. I'm coming up on you next, okay? Nobody with that? So Author Podcasting, be a standout guest. Free book in the chat. You can grab that link and it will take you to thank you for paying the $10 for shipping. That pays for the gas down the hill. And when I go to the post office, because yes, I do it myself. All right. Last but not least, anybody here from the Expressing the Divine group? Anybody of my Master Mystics or the Practical Mystics? I thought I saw Jenny Adams pop in. She's one of our Master Mystics. And so just wanted to say thank you for being with us. If nobody has any questions regarding that, go ahead and you can get into the chat and you can get a free copy of this. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That one actually I have to pay for because it's thicker and it requires more cash on the postage. So that's for the readers. Anybody have any nobody is a beta reader or anything? Okay. And the last book I'll mention is the one I'm currently working on, which is Buddha Behind Bars. And I don't see anybody here on the list from that group. Okay. So we have another 1-minute tech tip, and I want to welcome James Hipkin. If you would be kind enough to share with us not only your 1-minute tip, but also the workshop that you and I are going to be doing, not only for authors, but also business owners. We're focusing on authors, but business owners, if you want some assistance with your website, we're going to be doing audits to help you with all the stuff that we've been talking about earlier this morning. So good morning, James. Great to have you with us. Go ahead and chat away.
Good morning. Sorry, sexy early morning voice.
There you go.
Good morning, Janine, and good morning, everyone. So the attention span on the internet, as you all probably recognize, is extremely short. There's the famous goldfish with the 6-second attention span, which is a myth. It's not actually true, but regardless, you truly do only have 6 seconds or less to engage a visitor on your website. And what the tip I'm going to leave today is the first of the 6 ways. And the thing to keep in mind is the 6 seconds doesn't start when the page has loaded. The 6 seconds starts when the visitor asks for the page. So page load speed is the first way that you need to be looking at to engage website visitors in 6 seconds or less. And most of the sites that I audit do not pass this test. Page load speed is also the first trust event that consumers have with you. If your page loads fast, they're like, they don't even think about it. They're just like, these people are professionals. These people have got their act together. But if it doesn't load quickly, suddenly you've got them thinking about whether or not you're serious, whether or not you're real, whether or not you're who they want to do business with. So that's my tip for the day. Test for your page load speed. The most common problem with page load speed is the wrong image format. Pages filled with PNGs are going to load slower than pages that use JPEGs. Pages with oversized images are going to load slower than pages with the correctly sized images. That's usually the most simplest and commonest problem with page load speed. Thanks, Janine.
And thank you. I love my geeks because I are one. And so thank you everybody who helps us out with that. Not only are we talking about the differences between what we call ping files or JPEG files. I know a lot of us on Canva sometimes don't know what the difference is, and that can definitely cause issues with your website. If this is information you've already known and you have information that you want to add to or share with other people, please let us know. Love to have that. And in the chat, Sean's going to pop in there the workshop we're running, which is demystifying authors' websites for them. It also will work for business owners. Feel free to sign up. We've got the early bird price of $97 for that. It's going to be an hour and a half, and we will do an audit on your site and let you know what's going on with that. Okay, so next, and thank you to all my podcasters and my alignable people who I've asked on. I appreciate you kind of being patient with me as we work through the last 15 minutes of people. If you are a podcaster, I would very much like you to raise your hand in the chat and let us know that you exist, whether you come to me from Alignable, Matchmaker.fm, Entrepreneurs HQ, Cannoli Club. Wow. What's the other one? I'm missing one. Oh, 1530 group. Sorry. I knew there was somebody. So anybody who is a podcaster, if you would raise your hand for me. And then that way I can introduce you because I know we have a few of you here. Okay. So the very first thing I'd love for you to share is not only what is the name of your podcast, but also if you are looking for guests and who are they, because I have a lot of authors in my community and they watch my Open Friday Coffee for you guys. And then the third thing is we're going to talk to you about Podcasters Playground, which is coming up in February. You are officially invited in the early bird section of that. So Laura Cross, wonderful to see you today, dear. Great to have you with us. Talk to us about your podcast.
Thank you, Janine. Actually, mine is a live streaming TV show. It's Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross TV show. It's 56 minutes long, and it's all about me being a resource and bringing on guests that can provide education, resources, connections, and collaborations around mindfulness and self-care, mostly holistic. Always looking for guests. That is a paid platform. But right now that they're out I'm starting to fill in January's. So I'm working on January's episodes. They're all pre-recorded. I also do free live interviews. So for people that want to be seen also, there's a free 15-minute live interview option. So I'd love to talk to you.
Okay, and there's multiple people here that will help you with that, but I will call out Jenny Adams on the mindfulness aspect on it. Helpful content will be Yvonne DeVita. You're going to hear her 1 minute tip that author tip that she's giving. And then Louise Harris has assistance that she can offer as well. So those are all people that I have worked with as far as different networks and stuff. If I didn't call your name, don't be upset. We have a few more podcasters. Go ahead, Joe. Talk to us about your podcast.
Good morning, folks. The title is, Are You Prepared to Take the Hot Seat Challenge to Discover an Enhanced Ingredient of Your Secret Sauce that gives you a distinct advantage over your competition? What I do is I ask, starting for the live podcast, the first 30 minutes, I ask you what's your favorite pastime? And that gives me a sense of your passion. Much more meaningful than ask, well, tell me about yourself. Well, I'm in my third divorce. I've bought and sold 5 companies, not quite the same thing. And then for the final 10 minutes of the 30-minute live podcast, I will then share with the audience how who you are based on your passion, your favorite pastime, gives you a distinct advantage over your competition in your ideal market. I'm Joe Wesley, JNO Creative Solutions.
Thank you very much, Joe. And he comes to us from Winning on Wednesdays, one of the networking groups. Joe and I have been working together for almost 3 years. So great to see you again, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, another one who's awesome because she comes to us from the 10 group. And one of the neat things about Nikki Green is the fact that she comes up with this book called The Chameleon Mindset, which we happen to love, that type of animal. And she was part of our Entrepreneurs HQ and the Summit, and she's done a lot to support me, and I do everything I can to support her book launches. So Nikki, talk to us about your podcast, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nikki Green, and my podcast is Stand Up and Stand Out. We've been featured in Podcast Magazine. We help young people figure out what a career path really is like. And so I like to interview lots of different people to really showcase what that journey has been, what you studied, where you started, and where you ended up today. We're finishing up recording season 6 before the holidays here, but we're already taking new guests for season 7. So if you guys think you have a great story to share, come on and catch me. I'll drop my information in the chat. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and thank you very much. And one of the things I request respectfully is if you do not have a media kit, do not approach these podcasters without having a media kit put in place. Now, I have a media kit course. You're welcome to ask in the chat for it. We'll give you the link. But I request respectfully, I don't care how good you are, have your media kit put together for these people so they can share it. Because one of the challenges I had with my team is that when people don't have media kits and they expect us to be able to brand them and present them very well, we look mediocre if you give us a cruddy headshot and stuff like that. So anyway, those are my passion points. Please talk to us, Michael. He's had me on his podcast, and it's nice to have you here on Open Friday Coffee. Talk to us.
Nice to be here. Finally, I actually had time to come. Well, good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. My name is Michael Fritzhughes. I'm the host of a different podcast that Janine doesn't know about yet. It's called the Health and Wellness Podcast by Exactly Zero. It's a flagship podcast for our company with the same name, Exactly Zero. And we interview lots of people that are in the holistic health space. We get on and talk about faith, family, parenting, herbalism, aromatherapy, crunchy stuff, and it's led to some really awesome interactions with people. We tend to run around with those kind of folks because of our business. And we thought, why don't we just start a podcast about it? It's a good networking opportunity. So I'll drop my information in the chat. If you'd like to join us one time and have a conversation, if you care about health and wellness, then got a place for you.
Thank you very much, Michael. And for all my podcasters, there are 2 different dates I would like you guys to put in your calendars, if you don't mind. The first one is Podcasters Playground. And in the chat, we're going to have a link where we want to keep you guys in the loop on that, because we'll be asking for speakers. Okay, and we would like you to talk at the Podcasters Playground. So Sean will put that link in the chat. It's just a quick form. You're going to hear from us once a month until we get closer to the event, and then we'll do a call out for speakers. But you guys are part of my Open Friday Coffee. I want to give you first dibs on the Podcasters Playground. The second one is the Podcasters Circus. That will be May 1st and 2nd of 2024. And that is where the first event is going to be speakers the first day. But on the second day, we're going to open up 100 breakout rooms, and we're going to let you have your own room, and we're going to cycle authors through. Because we have the Authorpreneurs HQ, we're going to take the Authorpreneurs HQ. All of them will have media kits, and then you will be able to do your recordings. And so that's going to be the Podcasting Circus. So that will be on May 1st and 2nd. For those of you who want to be speaking on podcasts, let me know. Let's get you through the Media Kit course. Let's get you set up before we start having all these fun and games with the Podcasters Playground and Podcaster Circus, okay? So hope that's helpful to you folks. All right, so that's the podcasters. Now it's time for my authors. And for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, when it's gonna be my turn? Oh my God, Janine, I'm like, I promise I will get to you. But now is the authors. And before we start with the authors, Yvonne DeVita, who is the lovely lady who wrote the book on how to write a book. So give me that title again. I always twist it up. Go ahead, Yvonne.
It's the How to Write a Book.
That's it. Anyway, Yvonne, you've only been one of those bloggers that was making money back in the early 90s with stuff. So this woman knows her stuff and her tech. So go ahead, Yvonne.
Yeah, so I was one of the early bloggers who turned blogging into a business, and I was teaching other people how to blog also. And as a book coach and someone who helps people write books, here's the tip I have for you: learn how to tell a good story. So many authors are writing books, and they're giving me a report, and the report is, this happened. Here's where it happened. Here's how it happened. And I was there. And it was either not a fun time or it was a wonderful time. But that's a report. Nobody wants to read a report. Nobody wants to read a PowerPoint presentation. And that's what people are giving me. A story gives us the feel of where you are. It puts the reader into the conversation. And that is the most important thing that you can do to engage the people who are buying your books, so that they will want to then further connect with you. Because when they further connect with you, then they're going to buy your products and your services. And basically, the storytelling aspect goes back to when we were cave people and we talked around the fire. And it's something that we have never lost, that is kind of inherent in the human condition. But if you don't tell a good story, if you're just writing a report, you're going to lose out.
Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that so much. And so for all of you who have a book, would you please raise your hand so you have an opportunity to introduce yourself to, okay, electronically? It would be so much helpful. It'd be so great if you could do that for me. Thank you. Louise, you were the first one to raise the digital hand. I just love that. I can't resist. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your book.
Hi, I'm Louise Harris, Last Research and Editing. My book is called The 1776 Soldier. It is fiction, and it is a romance suspense book about it's set in modern day, but it goes back and forth between 1776 timeline and the present day timeline. And it's about this murder that happens in 1776 and another murder that happens in 2023, and the two murders are connected, and the two main characters have to figure out who the murderer is and why it's important. And it comes out October 23rd.
October 23rd. Congratulations. So
It's
you're
also
doing
the
quite the
4th
launch.
in my 1776 series.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Louise. And let us know how we can support you. So come on back to the Open Friday Coffee when you get ready to launch so that you can hand us some of your swipe copy. So get your swipe copy put together so that when we get on, we can just throw it up on our own social media. Okay? All righty. Well, Miss Nancy Fields, entrepreneur, HQ extraordinaire, how can we help you today?
Well, I wanted to share that I have a book now.
Oh, she didn't,
after,
folks. This is brand
after the
new.
Entrepreneur Summit. In fact, I remember Rich Beyer, you holding up your book saying, this is so unreal. But after the Entrepreneur Summit, I worked with Jeff Borshawa, who said, your website is so well organized. You know, you have a book here. I went, what? So within a few hours, he pulled a book together for me. And it's just very exciting because having worked on my website for years and, you know, and putting out good content, it was really repurposing my content. And I've also spent the last 2 years in particular working with a true SEO guru who has taught me a lot about how to show up or how to get Google robots attracted to you. So so it was an opportunity to put it all together, and I'm thrilled. Although it's still, I checked today, it's still in the review stage. I was hoping to press publish, but
Yeah, don't worry about it. It takes anywhere, it can take up to 72 hours. We all have been there, like waiting with bated breath for that first book to come out. When you hit publish, come on back, let us know so we can buy your book. Okay. All right.
yes.
All righty. Sophia Falk. Oh my gosh, lady, you're back from Mexico. What's cooking with you?
A lot is cooking with me. I just hope it doesn't boil over. The as Falky, by the way.
All right. Keep reminding me.
2 books I'm working on as far as my authoring. One is co-authoring an empowerment journal with someone else. And the other is my second book, 5 Keys to a Life of Purpose, Passion, and Possibility. So they're both in the works.
Okay, and talk to us about the one where you went to Alaska. That story is fascinating. What book was that?
Embracing Greatness, a Guide for Living the Life You Love.
Right. This was long before anybody else was talking about that. You and your mom went to Alaska in an RV. What year was it again?
Let me see. 1989.
1989. Long before
She was-
anybody was talking about it. She's like, come on, Mom, hopped in an RV, took her to Alaska.
She was 75 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry,
I'll tell
I
you-
get excited by that.
Yeah, now that I'm 76, I don't know how she did it. I mean, my mother was a trooper. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Sophia. We'll talk about the
Thank
media
you.
kit in a little bit. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
right. Okay. Next up is Sally Wurr.
Hello there. Yeah. You know, I seem to have been on a writing journey the last 2.5, 3 years. And I've published, my first book was in 2019, was Succeed with Purpose, but I've been working on a trilogy. So Power of Awakening and Power of Purpose are already published, and Power of Legacy will come out this year. And it'll be my 3-part book of asking people the question of, do you know where you're going to? You know, are you in the driver's seat of your life? What I've discovered since the COVID pandemic hit the world is that people are suffering from what I call SAD syndrome. They're stressed, they're angry, and they're depressed. And you see it on the streets every day, and it's not getting better. And so I wrote the books to help lift people up out of this abyss that they're finding themselves in. And I feel as though it's up to those of us, and obviously everybody on this podcast or on this show are already there, but lifting those people up that are finding themselves in that deep, dark place, and they don't know how to come up. And so it's up to us that are somewhat on the surface to help lift them.
Thank you very much. And I apologize. Zoom is doing a lot of weirdness. Jenny, I think you were supposed to go first and I called on Sally. Anyway, hang in there, guys. This is just like Southwest Airlines. Just queue up. We'll all get on the plane. Okay, go ahead, Jenny.
You get unmuted. I am writing my sexual spiritual memoir. It's kind of like the 50 Shades of Grey mixed with the Bible, and goes from my childhood all the way through my spiritual awakening. That has to do, it opens people up around sexuality and releases the shame around it, but it's far bigger than that, with the divine feminine coming in, and it's beautiful. And I'm looking for early readers right now.
Right now you're looking, I knew you were probably going to be calling out for beta readers. And that's another thing. When you're writing a book and if you need beta readers, let us know so we can support you with that. I have a group of over 114 beta readers that they love reading books that are raw and real. And so, Jenny, this book is raw and real. Thank you so much for showing up. Do you have a link in the chat where we can go and sign up to be a beta reader?
I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay. So next time you show up, though, this is just a little tip. When you guys are looking, have that landing. I don't care. Get on MailChimp, get the free account, get the landing page, have the form be name and email, or just email, and give it that way, because it's so much easier than putting your email in the chat. Okay. All right. Thank you. And when do you plan to have it out, Jenny?
Within the next year. It'll probably be at least 2 books. And so first book, hopefully in the next 6 to 9 months.
Okay. All right. Keep coming back. Keep letting us know, and then let us know when you need help in that, because we have a lot of experienced authors here that can give you good tips. Okay?
Perfect. I linked it in the chat already, so people can connect with me there as well.
Okay. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up. It's been a long time since we've been able to see each other.
It has.
All right. Welcome, Hawaii, the lady of Maui. Hello, Crystal. What's cooking in your world? I know you're there. Okay. She may be driving. All right. Amy, it's good to see you. One of our WOW members winning on Wednesday. What's happening? Tell us about your book.
Okay, so during COVID, at the beginning of COVID, I decided, well, I really need to do something to get out there with career coaching. I wrote a book called 5 Steps to Your Dream Job. It's been published by Book Boon Publishers, which is a publisher in Denmark, Europe. It really is a practical book with lots of tips, tactics, and worksheets. So it's really more of a workbook to go through to learn what are the steps in finding your next job, what do you have to do about it, and with tips and templates on how to assess your skills, how to write your resume, how to write your LinkedIn profile, preparing for interviews. So thank you very much for my mentioning it, and you can contact me and I'll tell you how to get it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being with us today, Amy. I appreciate it. Okay. We have, last but not least, Rich Fire. And we're all excited about him because he showed up to the Entrepreneurs HQ and he was actually able to flash a book. Woo-hoo-hoo. I love that. So go ahead, Rich. Tell us about your book. Oh, and I get to use my sign. Everybody, if you guys have your you're on mute sign, you can use it now. Here it is. Yeah, baby.
Are you done? Are you all
no,
done?
we're not done yet.
You're not even started. First of all, Janine has one of the very few rare first editions of my book.
I do.
This is no longer available. And what makes it so special is that there's a typo on the front cover. That was because so anyway, listen, people, this shit happens, and you got to just put your stuff out there. And if you're going to perfect and implement in life, you're going to be spending a lot of time getting things done right and tweaking and whatnot, but you're not going to get things out there. So that's A. B, big shout out to Jeff Bourgeois, because again, through him, I have a book. I didn't know I had a book. And Jeff made my book possible. And I know Jeff through Janine. I'm also going to give the shout out to Sean. because I got to see Sean in action for the first time at the Entrepreneurial Summit. And this guy is just like amazing. You know, there was nothing he wasn't on top of. And it's just a pleasure to see him here this morning. So thank you. What can I say? Oh, the next book. So I'm working on the next book, by the way. The next book, my mom had a Yiddish expression for everything. And when she started getting Alzheimer's dementia, when she started going down that path, I thought, oh my God, if I don't get this stuff down, it's going to die with me. So the left side of each page is going to be, I thought I may have had a dozen of these words or so. I'm so far up to 86. The left side of the page is going to be the word, the phonetics of it, and then the definition as I understand it. And the right side of the page is going to be one of my photographs depicting that word. So I've been having a blast putting this together so far. So that's what I'm up to.
Fabulous. And that's why I absolutely love this community, whether you guys are podcasters or authors, is that you are always creating. You're always building something new. Thank you for keeping me updated on that. And for those of you who are not podcasters or authors or readers or students of mine, and you've been waiting patiently, thank you so much for doing that as we crank through, folks. Normally, I don't have this many people on it, but when we saw how many people were registering, I brought in extra team help. So we have people in the background helping out as well. So for all of you who have not had an opportunity to speak, if you will go down to the bottom and hit the raise hand button, and then we will get to you in order. And the question I'll be asking you is, how can I help you? What can we do for you? And so first of all, Mike, hi, it's good to see you again.
Right. I tell you, the overwhelm here, usually when I feel overwhelmed in a group, I feel terrible. I feel great to be around so many people with so many great ideas. When it comes to writing, I'm always guilty of stopping a project because it's almost finished, before it's finished, almost finished, to start something new. And every time I'm almost finished with something, I think, how can I work on a book? That's always the great distractor for me. My thing, hopefully you can tell, I heard the talk about storytelling. I said, hey, we have something in common. My speech coaching, Sally, all right. My speech coaching service is Fit Presenter. It started off with the fitness industry, and I created a master course for public speaking skills for the fitness industry. And I would like to convert that into a book.
Okay, we can help you with that. We can help you with that. And so we will put into the chat. Let's see, Jeff is usually here. Unfortunately, he's down with COVID. And so Jeff usually runs with us and does a 1-minute tip, but he has COVID. And so if you would be kind, Mike, to email me at janine@the8gates.com. If you will email me, I will forward your request to Jeff, and he will be able to work out the details for you. Okay.
Janine at the 8 gates, number 8, right?
Right, it is that. Sean, if you would take care of that, I'd appreciate it. So that would be very helpful. And then I know there's a few other people that have been here. Rebecca, I haven't seen you in ages, since Entrepreneurs HQ. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Could you repeat last time what link you need? Because I was having to handle 2 other things simultaneously.
I know you were. So it's just my address, Janine@the8gates.com. If you could type it in
Got
there,
it.
please.
1 moment,
Thank you.
incoming.
No problem. Gotcha. So one of the things that I realized is that Sean and I work really, really well together. It's wonderful when you've been on games and headsets together for your entire life, in his case, in my case, for the last 28 years. And so I was like, dude, I need somebody to run the Discord chat. And he's like, because he was freaking out, but what do you want me to do on Zoom? And I'm like, it's a Discord chat. Just run the Discord chat. And he's like, oh, I got that. I'm like, thank you. Appreciate that. So anyway, Rebecca, lovely to see you. It's been a while since Entrepreneurs HQ. What can we do for you?
I was just actually checking in with you and seeing what you were up to. I've been in tax world, and I'm taking a little break from Monday's due date. So just kind of seeing what's up with you, and it's so much busier here than last time I was here. So that tells me you're doing a lot. So
A lot is happening, and I have a lot of fabulous collaborators, and that's part of why the things are growing, is because of the collaboration that I have. So I wish I could
wonderful.
take all the credit, but I truly cannot. I got a team of 15 people, and I have over 8 collaborators that I'm working with right now, and so that's what's causing a lot of the influx. For those of you
Wonderful.
who don't know Rebecca, and she is very humble, does not talk a lot about what she does. She just talks about tax time. If you have a family that has revenue, income, or assets, you want to talk to her on how to make sure that when you die, because guess what? None of us get out of this life alive. I know that may be a shocker to some of you, but I just want to let you know. She can help you with moving that estate so that you don't have all the tax. So you want to talk to Rebecca about that. What was the name of that program? You were building out a program last time I met you.
I am, but it's primarily my accounting firm is R. Jensen or at the firm is maxqtc.com, maxqtc.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
But and what actually is we've even branched. My daughter joined my firm, and she's leading our business groups to kind of help our business owners figure out how to take 4-week vacations and have their business still run and be profitable without them. So been happy to watch that, because part of my family legacy is passing on to the next generation. So she's gearing up to probably 10 years she'll be able to take over the firm from me. So pretty excited about that.
And thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate all the work that you do, because nothing is more disturbing. I'm a first generation college student. No, I was the first person in my family to even go to college or contemplate it. And then I didn't expect the revenue to come to me that started coming to me. And I had to learn everything because nobody in my family could teach me. And so I relied heavily on people like Rebecca to just coach me on because the tax system is simple, right? They say that an 8th grader can figure it out. And I have never been more humbled than trying to figure out the tax code here in the United States when I was reading what they said were documents that an 8th grader could figure out. I was like, I'm a graduate student. I have a master's degree in education, and I cannot figure this stuff out. So I felt really stupid. And then people like Rebecca goes, don't worry. They do that on purpose. Let's help you. So thank you, Rebecca. We appreciate you. And then lovely lady I wanted to introduce you folks to, because I got to meet her IRL, and that's the lovely Sarah Jess. So Sarah, would you mind coming on and saying hello and talk to us just real quick? Give us that 15-second elevator speech about what you do in your business and what you're working on.
Hi, everyone. Great to meet you all. I have to be honest, I had absolutely no idea what I was walking into. So this has been a really inspiring and exciting conversation. And I just think that the community that you're building, even though I feel like I'm only scratching the surface as to what it all entails, is really just cool and wonderful. And obviously you're making a big impact for a lot of people. So I am Sarah Jess. I am actually a full-time real estate investor and real estate professional. So I do a lot of investing out in the Midwest and work here as well. I have a mortgage license. I work with my husband, who's a realtor. So we are just all things real estate and creative real estate. So doing a lot of off-market creative deals.
And Jess and I met at a philanthropic group. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Grapevine. They are philanthropic groups that come together. Thank you, Nikki. And so she and I had met with that. And I'm like, oh, if you're in real estate and you're wanting to connect with people, I know you're here in Colorado, but you need to meet my people. And she's like, okay, where are they? And I'm like, well, you got to come on over and Friday coffee, because my people are scattered all over the world. It's wonderful to see you, Stefan. Thank you for joining us. But anyway, so I'm like, everybody everywhere. And so I'm like, if you want some assistance building up your business, although she is very savvy at her real estate and everything, but I'm like, if you're trying to do a side hack on the side, come talk to these people, because usually most of them have at least 3 businesses they're running. They have a book, they have a podcast, and then they have the money, the money maker, but they're very highly creative. And I knew you guys would help her out. Give her and her husband a chance. They've only been in Longmont, Colorado, where we're based, for how many months, Sarah?
Oh, well, longer than that. So we've been in Longmont for 2 years, but in Colorado for closer to 7.
But I just met her. So, to me, she's new, right?
Yeah.
All right. For the other people who've not been able to have a chance to speak, so we're going to go with Josette, Mark, Daryl, and Stefan. Okay. So Josette, hi, where are you coming from? How can I help you?
Let me get off of mute. Well, I'm here as inquiring what exactly is this all about? So, yeah. First of all, I am a grief counselor, and I work with individuals who are in transition of job loss, transition of death. And I have authored a couple of books, but I in my mind right now is just all over the place. So where you can help me, I'm looking into your information. I've written down a whole bunch of individuals that I will be reaching out to, and that's where I am right now. It's learning.
Okay. Well, definitely let's connect at some point. And I have a flash coaching session where I work with people who, like, when you're all over and you need some focus or clarity, and it's only $197 for 30 minutes, and you get one-to-one time with me, and we can sit down and figure out where you are. But I was kind of like, why didn't you put your hand up when I was calling on authors? You're an author. I've been happy to have you talk about your book. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. I understand. First time. I get it. I can't help it that I get excited when I get around creative people. So anyway, yeah, we'll put the link for the 30-minute flash coaching session in the chat, and then you can sign up there. Yep. And then next is Mark. Mark, our Canadian bro. How are you up there in the Great White North? What's happening?
Very well, great. I'm out from Montreal, so it's not too bad. No, everything is going good. I'm working with Jeff to do my first book, so that's coming out.
Yay!
Hopefully pretty soon, because I want to go on the tour with you, Janine. So
okay,
that's going to be exciting. But everything else is just amazing. I've got working with the Reset It program, and now I have 9 new teachers on board, which is just beautiful.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, doing very well.
For people who want to change their mindset and they want to reset, Mark is your guy. He can help you do it in 90 minutes. Did I get that right this time?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay. Last time I was like 90 seconds. He's like, whoa.
We're good, but we're not that good.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. No, I'm joking. Okay. Wonderful to have you with us, Mark. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you. And then we're going to try this again. Crystal from Maui. The sun isn't even up out there. Hi.
Good morning. I was having a tech tard moment earlier. Matt, I need you again. Matt, save me.
Save me, Matt. Save me.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a better way to start my Friday the 13th than hanging out with you guys. And so had to get up early to come out here. My book we were talking about earlier, it's kind of my story on my journey to self-actualization, finding my authentic self, but also a very spiritual journey. So bringing together all of the parts mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I'm a therapist by trait, so I had to therapize myself. And I have a book of how I came through that and how it helped me create a new world. And now I live on Maui.
And that is one of the beautiful things when Crystal and I first started working together, working with her on her book, that sort of thing. And then she's like, I'm done here. I just want to be on Maui. And I love it. That's why I always get so excited every time she comes on, because I'm like, woo, Maui. So anyway, it's great to see you. And how is the island doing? Because you guys were on fire not that long ago.
Woo! It's a journey. Things get very interesting. I think it's the biggest culture shock I've ever experienced. As a white girl from North Dakota, I've lived in lots of parts of the United States and been around a lot of different cultures. But coming out here and being a part of this like huge tragedy and seeing the aloha spirit in action and how they live it on a daily basis is just, it's amazing. I encourage everyone to learn more about the root of the word, like what aloha really means. And, keep the Hawaiian Islands alive by spreading aloha to those around you and sending some aloha back this way. But we're definitely getting through it one day at a time.
Okay. Thanks for coming on and for getting out when the morning star hadn't even set yet.
I know. Can you see it?
Yeah, right behind you, dear. Yeah, my dad was Navy. We have a tendency to look for things like that. Wonderful to have you. And then we have Daryl Averman who's with us, and he comes to us from the WOW Network, Winning on Wednesdays. So he's part of our network out there. So hi, Daryl, what can we do for you today?
Hey, Janine, and great to see everybody. It's always, this is probably the first one I've attended in 4 months, and you've grown and grown. So I know you're part of lots of different communities. You're a tremendous resource. As you and I recently spoke about launching a new product, there's the podcast, there's the memoirs, the storytelling that goes into all the different ways that you can educate and entertain people as they're learning about your product and your spirit. So I think in the past you've sent me your media kit. So just wanted to say hi, check out, get some insights, and let you know that I'll be utilizing your resources already, and looking forward to sharing the journey to launch, which is really in the next few weeks here.
Okay, please do let us know what we can do to help, because we also are really good at accountability. We've all had those experiences where we've been stabbed in the back. I always tell you, Rich Fire was the one that says a good friend stabs you in the front. And so that's what we are. That's what Open Friday is all about. We say, look, you're not doing this, get on it. You're better than this. You can make it happen, make it rock and roll, because we all, we kind of in our creative journeys feel very solo. And that's a natural part of the creative process. And so Open Friday Coffee is a place where you can come and say, hey, I'm struggling with XYZ. And guess what? You're going to have 15 people that look at you and go, oh, God, I remember those days. Okay, this is what helped me. Maybe it won't help you, but this is what helped me. That's what we are here to do, to help you with. Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, you've been a great connector. Thank you.
And is there anything else that we can do for you, dude? You have a project you're working on?
No, I mean, right now actually I am working more with the Sports Philanthropy Network around some community initiatives, giving back to the youth in the sports space, the ones that are looking for equipment, trying to find some grounds to play on, and really giving back at the real local level. So there's a fundraiser that I'll be helping build out here next month in New York City. But if anyone here on this call works with sports clinics, youth associations, is a former athlete, those are the folks that I like to talk to. Not only as a sports media executive and professional, but also from a nonprofit standpoint, giving back and enriching lives through sport.
Okay, and so that's where you would need to chat with Crystal. Crystal was an incredible athlete in her day and is still running and running and running. So I highly recommend the two of you connect, if for no other reason than the two networks, okay? Because you're on East Coast, she's Maui. So that would be nice to bring the continent together in that way, yeah?
Yep,
so,
thank you.
And then Stefan, last but not least, dude, you came in. It's great to see you. How can we help you today? What's cooking in your world?
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat of I just came to check it out, see how it is, see what Michael Whitehouse's idea has flourished into in your brain and hands, and I will say, has it flourished? Just watching this, because I think a year ago or so, I went to one of his, and he had maybe 2 or 3 people there, and I'm going, wow, this is different. This is definitely a lot of people. So well done. On that. Yeah, that was the part of it. I think the only thing is I was thinking, man, I like to call myself an author, but that was for my previous business. But then I realized I wrote 2 little ebooks, and I shouldn't completely discredit myself because they were meant as little ebooks. They still did a purpose.
Right, you are an author, right? Everybody, you are an author. Yeah, that imposter syndrome is real. Oh. So congratulations. We're going to celebrate you here for a moment. Hey, welcome, author. Applause. Yes.
Well, I know your accountability side of it made me go, why am I not pushing the second? Because I haven't been pushing the second book because the first one's been going out for free. And the second one, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You've been sitting on this. Why are you doing that? But honestly, just seeing this group, the only thing that I can ask, because my favorite thing, even though I mostly work with coaches, but my favorite thing is a tiny bucket that very few ever I get to work with. But it's those people where you go, oh, the world needs more of you. Because I want to give the world more of them.
Right,
That's
right.
what I'm. So really, I also just want to connect with those types of people.
Well, definitely sign up. Sean, if you don't mind popping the Open Friday Coffee link in there, you have to register for each one. And I do that on purpose because I don't want you to get the emails that, have you signed up, whatever. But definitely come back on and sign up. And as you move through your processes, as you move through your projects, let us know what's going on, because everybody's here willing to support you, whether it's you post on LinkedIn, bring us the link. We'll hit the like button. Yeah, sure. It takes us 2 seconds if you bring the link. Okay. Don't ask us to do anything. It needs to be super easy. All right. Don't ask me to go to your website. I'm sorry, this has happened. Don't ask me to go to your website, find the image, and no, just send the link and put it as a hyperlink. Don't ask me to create the hyperlink. And I will do that for you. And that's for all of you, whether it's Joe, who's got his secret sauce and he's got his podcast, or if it's Nikki, who's working on her next, book project, that kind of thing. And Nancy, I haven't forgotten you. You are still waiting to hit that publish button on KDP. And as soon as that happens, come back to the next Open Friday Coffee so that we can buy your book. Because a lot of the books that you guys are making, it's like less than $15. It's like, it's less than a pizza nowadays. I'm more than happy to support an author for less than a pizza. And that's how you can tell where my world is. It's in relation to pizzas. How many pizzas does it take to get this kind of cash going on, right? Okay. All right. We have 5 minutes. Is there anybody who has a question, or is there anybody who wants to talk to somebody? And because I was running my mouth, you didn't have an opportunity to connect with that person. Anybody? We're all good? Okay. So like I said, we've got go ahead, Steph.
Sorry, because it wasn't pertaining to that. Would you be opposed to me making a chart of world related to pizzas and the various economic equivalents and send it to you?
I would love it, and I will promote it on the next Open Friday Coffee. You bet you're sweet Bippy, because I'm a mathematician and physicist by training, and so everything is the world according to pi. Go
I
ahead,
thought
Nancy.
it was your sweet and sour Bippy.
Bippy. I have that too. Go ahead, Nancy.
I was so inspired, Janine, by, you're saying, if you want to earn a little money, just have a 90-minute webinar. So I actually have my a 90-minute webinar running this week. Today is the last one, and I'm going to show people in 90 minutes how to use a fabulous, inexpensive tool. James would love this. It's the Keywords Everywhere tool to find out, number one, what your people want, as well as how to create a great free offer. Because would you know what people want, you can create a great free offer. And I will put the link. It's very inexpensive. And it's,
yeah. But yeah. And one of the things I'd like to share with you folks, do not, now, Nancy already knows all this because she went through all my courses. Do not build anything until somebody has already paid for it. That is where we run into problems. We build stuff and then people don't pay for it because they don't want it. So before you build your free offer, make sure somebody has paid for your item, your course, your workshop, your something first, and then build a free offer, the checklist or whatever that was the downloadable for the course. Okay. So people get that reverse. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I have over and over and over again, I have people who come to me who are destitute financially speaking, because they don't have a client, they don't have this, they don't have that, cash flow is zero, they're going into debt. And it's because they built and then they try to get people convinced to come into their course. It's exactly backwards. That is not the way you do that. And I can say this because I've been doing online teaching since 1996. I started online courses with this new program called Zoom. I was one of the first 300 that got it. And in 2015, we all got upgraded and we got grandfathered into this thing called Zoom. And so finally, then in 2020, people started joining my party and no longer complained that they had to download the app so they could talk to me. It was amazing. The world became my oyster at that point. So I just want to remind you, do not build until somebody has already paid you. And guess what company instilled that in America and nobody listened? Boeing 747s. They didn't build the plane until the cash came through. Just wanted to say that this is not a new model. It's very old, but for some reason we ignore it. And I don't know why. Okay. All right. So we've got 2 minutes before we go, or 1 minute before we go. And I just wanted to say, please remember what you're doing. If you feel heavy hearted, if you feel like the world is like weighing on you, call someone in this group and say, I'm struggling, and let them help lift you up. Why? Because we are doing the unimaginable that was only 20 years ago. And that is, we are living life on our terms. We chose freedom over security. We actually said, we're going to write a book. We're going to build a business. I'm walking away from the cushy corporate job, or I'm going to stay at the cushy corporate job and do this side hack on the side. Who does that? Crazy people. So I just want to say thank you for being crazy. Thank you for being with me. And it's lovely seeing you on this Open Friday Coffee. I hope to get to see you next week. Take care, everybody.